Yeah, so I have a background in insurance and also building quite a few technology companies. If you want a fun fact, I'm a trained salesman instructor. There you go. So I've come to talk to you about Halo. And Halo essentially looks at trying to build the next generation of home insurance. So the big thing that's happening in the European scene for insurance at the moment is that home insurance is about to become unprofitable. It's becoming more and more expensive, it's becoming cheaper and cheaper, and no one can actually afford to make all the claims. Because the way that the fintechs are being built is that obviously these comparison websites run things, right? So insurance is defined by the cheap, fluffy meerkat wins the day, as opposed to the insurance you need gets you what you want. And so what we're doing is we're actually looking at trying to solve the two biggest pain points. The biggest one for customers and the biggest one for insurance companies. So the most painful thing that happens in home insurance is actually burglary. So it's the thing where someone breaks into your home, you might even be there, they take everything that you own. And insurance aren't that bothered about this. It's really easy to pay. You're in tears, you've lost everything. And they go, how much was it? And they're like, well, about 5K. Here you go, it's done. So they're completely disconnected with it because for them it's a really easy claim. And then the other piece, the one that costs the insurance world the most money, is actually leaks. All those little drips where you see the mark on the ceiling, and then the ceiling falls down, or you see the drip in your bathroom, and then you flood downstairs. That's the stuff that actually costs the insurance market all the problems. And because we're all massive on DIY now, we've got our lovely, beautiful en-suites, our wood floors with our spotlights, our homes are actually more expensive to repair. And so if we're looking at trying to approach these two things, there's a few ways of doing this. The biggest problem with insurance companies is they can never find a way of actually adding value to people. They can never get to them. And so what we do is we actually build kind of digital neighborhood watches. So they're hyperlocal networks of people bundled together. And you can use this. This doesn't cost anything. You literally can drop a halo anywhere you like on a map, and you immediately get connected up to that essentially little social network. Think of it like a subreddit for real time. And then we put all the data in for everything that's on around you. And the big people this resonate with are people like mums, right? So mums can instantly connect with people around them, or people can connect with whoever they work with. And beyond that, like, they want a few of these things. So for example, if you talk to homeowners in the UK, normally they're families, and if you said, I can drop a halo at your school and I can tell you if everything's okay there, that's magnetic, right? So about 4 out of 5 mums we speak to will instantly download and start to use Halo, which gives us a very interesting point of view, because if we're an insurance company, actually we're one that scales with word of mouth, which is very compelling. Insurance is the most expensive PPC term in the world. So what we do is we then connect you up with everywhere you care about, and you can turn these on permanently, you can turn them on for the day. If you want to know what's happening at the airport, you drop a halo there. But what we do is we say, right, now we're going to help you with your burglary piece. What we really want to do is try and help you with your home too. And so what we then do is give you a doctor for your home. So with one click, you can switch your policy to ours, powered by, say, Aviva. And then what we do is you can have a tradesman 24/7. So you can just shoot 10 seconds of clip, anything that worries you, a crack, a break, a leak, whatever you want, a leaking tap. And we look at it. And we can do that scalably, not with our own infrastructure. It's really easy for us. Insurance companies do this for clearing up the mess. We do it for stopping the mess from happening. If we see something that's going to be a claim, we fix it that day for free. It's in our interest. Fixing something is way better than picking up the pieces. And for you, you stop the worst things happening. It doesn't really matter what it is. If it's something like a problem that you just want cosmetically fixed, we can throw you to tradesman networks and they can pick that up. But the whole concept of it is you never make a claim. So it's preventative insurance. And so we've been in stealth for about 6 months, and we go live tomorrow. So we're already in 2, arguably 3 boroughs in London, and we're scaling with word of mouth. I mean, most of what we do is we make money from this, right? So you push one button, you get a medicine for your home, a doctor for your home, cheaper than your insurance today, and we effectively make your insurance free because you shouldn't have to use it. And so our markets are pretty huge. I don't need to tell you how many homes there are. You know that people live in homes and they're big. Home insurance is very competitive, but the hardest thing is finding people, and we actually go for a very specific bundle of people, right? So 20% are the ones that focus on like going to the meerkat and doing all this. 80% don't even open the letter, right? To the point where the FCA across Europe is now making it so that if you have insurance for 5 years with someone, You have to send them an email saying, you've been with them for 5 years. Do you want to look around? Not a joke. That's how bad it is. And so what we do is we're going for essentially the unbanked of insurance, right? It's all the people that just keep renewing, and with one click, suddenly we give you all this value. The nice thing is that if you constantly renew, as you probably can imagine, your insurance gets more and more expensive because you're getting screwed. So for them, it's like an instant gratification piece. So we sort of protect you in your home and in your area, and then we're switched on for everything that you might need. And so we have lots and lots of ways of going to market. We could talk about them in more detail, but most of our acquisition is word of mouth or free. We don't really have any interest in playing it online. There's no digital marketing in Halo. If we do anything, it's offline. And for that, customer acquisition cost is about £3. So if you're interested in how revenue models work for insurance, I mean, they make up 6% of the FTSE. They're reasonably profitable things. I think what probably matters compared to other businesses is that 10,000-ish consumers for us is £1 million a year revenue, which is the normal gate for something like a Series A. And so just to quickly give a bit of background, I helped build one of the UK's biggest digital brokers. Last year, I built an insurtech closed by Balderton. I've built one of the big companies in Founders Factory. So I know insurance, and I know how to build digital and tech companies. And all the design, UX, etc. is by me at the moment. My CTO has already built one social network in Europe called Haibu. And he's a reasonably notable guy in himself, aside from the fact that he's got the highest GPA pretty much of Ukraine, which is terrifying. Don't ever play chess with him. But we've got reasonable creds in this space, and we know how to do this. So we're going to be live from tomorrow, pretty much. And we're doing a lot of interesting things here. If you want to know about regulation, we can geek out on that after this. And then in terms of advisors, we have quite a few, but I think the notable ones are probably, we have someone who's been building insurtechs at the forefront, helping us hack regulation. And we have one of the co-founders of Ethereum helping us with some of the game theory, and he's also leading our round at the moment. I think I'll probably leave you there. Are there any questions? Go for it.
I'll just talk now, don't worry. I probably just didn't quite, wasn't paying attention maybe at that vital moment, but I was trying to figure out I apologise. I was probably not really paying attention at the critical moment, but I was trying to just get to grips with the connection between the sort of virtual moving network idea and the insurance. So the insurance offer, essentially,
yeah,
and how they join together and why they marry up.
So there's obviously a lot of statistics behind this, which I'm more than happy to share, but neighborhood watches actually reduced burglary by about 25%. They actually work. The issue is that they're in decline because you guys don't want to meet in a town hall once a week, which is fair. And so this concept of hyperlocal, like obviously what Nextdoor is doing, is very interesting. There's a company similar to us that's a fast follower in the States, and they're called Citizen. They currently have 2% of New York on this. So it's a necessary thing. They're not doing insurance. Maybe now it's recorded they are. But yeah, and burglary is the big one that matters to people. I mean, okay, the top thing in the world is being burned alive, if I'm honest, which is something no one really wants, I think. But it's very, very infrequent. It's a bit like your house falling down. The thing that actually makes people feel vulnerable, and the reason they care about this is like, are my kids safe? Is my home safe? And that's the piece. The fact is that the things they think never happen are the things in their home. So we address worry as opposed to terror, which is what others do. Oh. Whoever has the mic wins.
This might be an unfair question, but have you had any problems with people using that to find the absence of Halo? To think, well, there's lots of Halos over here, people are watching this area, no one's really watching this area, so I'm going to burgle over there.
It's a lovely idea. I don't think people will be that focused on this. It's actually probably the other way, that people might game it in terms of understanding and plugging into areas they shouldn't be in. So two things that happen on this. One is that we will eventually put in the same rules that apply to subreddits, which is kind of where you're looking at, which is that you need their own kind of self-moderation, not for a Halo, but for an area. And the second thing is that we're actually running this in a sense of behavioral economics. So there's this thing called Sesame credits, which is the way that China runs conformity. It's essentially a credit score that then marks how good you are aligned to the city. And then if you're bad, then you get things taken away. What we do is we put a score around safety. So we don't just say, flipping what you're saying, we don't just go, oh, look, there's lots of crime here. We go, this area of London is actually where the best people are. These are the people you want to live with. Like, they care about their kids, they're engaged in their area. So we actually flip the model. But the point is we make insurance cheaper for them and more expensive for places where you don't have a halo or you're not as safe. So it kind of plays up. I think we're on time. Thank you very much. If you want to talk, I'm around.